we limit ourselves so often because we get into our little box of like, this is who I am. These are the things that I do. These are the things that I'm good at. These are the things that people accept me for. And you might not even realize that there's so much that you can do and that you're actually really good at, and that you can actually change people's lives, or you can actually change your own life. What's up, everybody? I'm Chris Davis, here with my wife, Megan Davis, and we are your hosts for the My Blank Fitness Journey podcast. During this podcast, we will reveal the secrets that we have used to help our community become more healthy, fit, and confident, and also hear from some amazing people in our community as they fill in the blank and tell us about their fitness journey. Listen in and be ready to be inspired by our guests who, just like you, are superheroes as we dive into their origin story. Hello, and welcome to the next episode of My Blank Fitness Journey podcast, where we typically talk to guests and hear their stories. Instead, today it's just me. You're going to hear my deep dive on why you should try new things. But before we get to that, I want to, and like a new segment that we're going to introduce starting today is Bright Spot Friday. So this is something that we do in our members only group every Friday. We hear from our members and let them just kind of give themselves a shout out and say, hey, this is something really cool that happened this week. And so when they do that, we all give them a high five, celebrate them. And it's just really encouraging. So we wanted an opportunity, number one, give them a podium here on the podcast just to give all of you guys a shout out. And then number two, I want everybody to be encouraged to see how awesome things can be. So let's see, Bright Spot this Friday. Sounds like yesterday, Caleb and Dustin went out to run with Peter on his last run. I saw that. That was super cool. Felicity hit a new bench press PR. Amanda Johnson also hit a new bench press PR. Super cool. Dan Crafton hit a new strict press. Chris Carmen scored higher on his Navy physical assessment, higher than he has in the last 20 years. That's awesome. Jen says that she's seeing us on Sunday. Finished my first full week and day at 210 with Sean Jolly. Nice job. Let's see. Amanda Swan was able to do negatives, real negatives. That's awesome on her pull-ups. Great job. Sue says the same thing. So way to go. If you guys want to shout out on the podcast, just make sure that you're getting your Bright Spot Fridays in early and we'll shout you guys out. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. So, like I said, today is a little bit of a different style. We're going to be talking through, something I'm passionate about, something I care about. And today it is going to be why you should try something new. So, if you're familiar with CrossFit has this 100-word essay where the founder of CrossFit tried to boil down the essence of his vision for effectively implementing CrossFit for health and sport. And so while there's aspects of this article that could be argued against, I just want to point out kind of one sentence that really is applicable for everybody. So the last 6 words in this 100-word essay are regularly learn and play new sports. So at the CrossFit Games, we saw how important this was this year because athletes were challenged to do workouts with implements that they probably haven't ever even seen before. They're asked to move their bodies in new ways, try new things. And you really could see those athletes. And these are different than like me and you, unless you're a games athlete and you're listening to this. If you are, give me a shout on Instagram. I could use the help, but the ones that like you could tell who go out and they're like, oh, well, that looks fun. They find a random sport to play, or they see a random workout and they're like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try this new strongman implement, or I'm going to go out and I'm going to learn how to paddleboard, or I'm going to try to learn how to ride this different bike. Those are the people that did really well. And so that's super cool. And I think that those of us that have tried to do things new, that we've put ourselves out there, it can be like really hard to make that initial step, but the benefits outweigh those like initial like I don't know if I'm good enough to try this, or what happens if I'm bad at it. Like, if you can put those things aside, it is well worth it. So I know that it can seem silly to prescribe playing a new sport to an adult, but I really think that it's immensely powerful. And because I'm not limited to the 100 words that Glassman was for his little essay, I'm going to take it even a step further. I think that we should all be regularly trying new things that are challenging. So not just sports, but just try new things that really challenge you in a way that maybe you've never been challenged before. So, I mean, honestly, there's limitless opportunities and options when it comes to this idea. So you can pick up a new hobby. If you don't know anything about cars, learn how to put your spare tire on. I mean, that sounds useful and kind of cool, right? If you don't know anything about a different culture, try learning the language. I know Megan was doing Duolingo or one of these other apps recently, and it's like you could see like she's feeling well just trying to learn the language and like be able to communicate with people that you would otherwise be unable to communicate with is super awesome. So just taking this idea of neuroplasticity, this idea of learning and shaping your brain, there's a reason that when kids stop being challenged in school, that they begin to regress and display more immature behaviors. Their brains are literally developing so fast that they must be continually fed new challenges, new activities, new information, or they'll revert backwards. Like if you have kids, I'm sure that you've seen this before. Oh my gosh. It's we're 3 days into the school year now. And so summer is finally over and we can all like take a breath of fresh air because our kids are back in school. But by the end of the summer, like you can see that like if your kids are bored all summer, and kids complain about being bored all the time, but like you can really see like if you're not actively encouraging them to try new things or challenge them, like they start doing some weird stuff and they start going backwards. um it's if I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Likewise, there's so many studies that show the importance of brain stimulation for slowing memory loss and decreasing the effects of aging. That's why old people should be not just doing puzzles, but should be doing Tai Chi and should be learning how to knit and be learning how to CrossFit. Like we should be learning new things when we're young and when we're old. And guess what? Even when we're middle aged, I know that it feels like my brain isn't nearly as important as it is, or as it was, or as it will be. But it is like we're setting ourselves up for our elderly years, but we're also here to enjoy right now. And so we need to be engaging our brains constantly. So we get the same electrical signals and stimulations as we create new neural pathways and connections. It's a little bit harder for us than it is for my 8-year-old son to do those things, but it still happens and it's still way worth it. So I hear so many people when they come into the gym for a no sweat intro, and as we dive into the reasons and the things that they want to accomplish at the gym, they almost always say, hey, I've got really low energy and I have brain fog and I'm so fatigued by the end of the day. Help me. And guess what? CrossFit does help with that. It's really awesome to see, like, when I meet with people after just a few weeks and just say, hey, how's it going? Like, you working towards your goals. Almost everybody says one of the first things they say is, I feel better. I have more clarity. I can play with my kids longer, not just because like I have the physical energy, but I have the mental stamina and the mental capability to like shift into being able to play. Which is super cool. Like that's amazing. That's life change right there. And so the physical exercise that we do is super important in making these changes, but there's also the neurological adaptations, because I promise you, if you haven't been doing CrossFit and you come in and you're like, okay, teach me CrossFit, like your brain, by the time you get done with those first 6 foundations, is like spinning and swirling because we're throwing a lot of new information at you and challenging your brain to learn new things. But people step up to the challenge and see the benefits, like I said, almost immediately. So consider that trying something new isn't just helpful for the like neuro brain stuff, but it can help you in other ways. So number one, boosting your confidence. So Try something new, because you'll find that it is very empowering to find out that you can do something new that you realized, hey, this is possible when I thought it was impossible. We had a member who recently learned how to do a rope climb up to 15 feet. And when she came down, she had the biggest smile on her face. And she said that she never thought that it would be possible for her to make it to the top of that rope. And now she's ready to go out and tackle even bigger challenges in her life, because her mindset has shifted from I can't to I can. I can do new things is now the way that she can approach things. So it boosted her confidence. Number two, it might help you find new things that you love. Brussels sprouts. I hated Brussels sprouts until I actually tried them a few years ago. Turns out that they're actually God's gift to my palate, and I love Brussels sprouts dearly. Some of you guys are probably vomiting in your car right now. That's okay. I don't care. Try them with balsamic glaze and chef's kiss. I mean, so good. But because I was a stubborn dum-dum, I wasted so much of my life not enjoying something that I actually really like. So when you try something new, whether that's an activity or a hobby or food even, you might find that you actually have something new to enjoy. Number three, you're going to get introduced to new friends. So when you try something new, you're going to find a whole new group of people that you probably didn't even know existed. I remember in high school that there was like very big divides in people, like based off of their activities or their lifestyles or whatever. So like, the jocks didn't hang out with the nerds, and the preps didn't talk to the goths or whatever it was. But now we're in real life and we can all be in any of the groups that we want to be in. So you get to go meet new people that you probably wouldn't have ever met if you try new things. If you go join a bowling league and you've never done a bowling league before, guess what? You're going to be hanging out with different people. Or flag football, or whatever your new thing is that you're going to try. You're going to make a whole new set of friends, which is super cool. So number four, and lastly here, you can find new opportunities that might even change your life. And so we limit ourselves so often because we get into our little box of like, this is who I am. These are the things that I do. These are the things that I'm good at. These are the things that people accept me for. And you might not even realize that there's so much that you can do and that you're actually really good at, and that you can actually change people's lives, or you can actually change your own life. Most of our coaches didn't know that they could get paid to help people exercise and feel well until they started CrossFit, and until they started our internship program and put themselves out there and tried something new. Like most of our coaches didn't go through life thinking like, I'm going to go through all this training and I'm going to figure this out. Like that wasn't the thing. They just like put themselves out there and tried something new, and they're like, they literally now have a new job and get paid for it. So you don't know the opportunities that you're going to uncover by trying new things. So guys, like I said, I'm keeping this short. Hopefully you're convinced now that you should regularly learn and play new sports, or even better, regularly try new things that are challenging, no matter if it's a sport or not. You probably already have something in mind that you've been telling yourself, hey, I should try this. It's probably like been rattling around in your brain for a long time. Now is that time. Go try it. Go do it. See how it goes. Let us know. I want to know how that new thing goes. Like, was it terrible? Are you so sad that you tried that thing? Probably not. But if you are, cool, let me know. More than likely, you're going to find all those other benefits from trying it. So if you're out of ideas, here's one for you. If you're not doing CrossFit already, you probably already know what I'm going to say. Try it. Triforce has a Bring Your Friend week coming up soon. So that's a great opportunity where you can come and try something new to light up your brain and your body. Even if you're not near Triforce, if you're somehow listening to this in Alaska or in a different country, even, that'd be crazy. Find a CrossFit gym near you and go try it if you've never done it before, because it's really awesome. And you're going to see how it feels, which is going to be good to learn and play new sports. If you're already doing CrossFit, sign up for a competition that you've never done before. That can be your new thing. We have a weightlifting competition coming up at the end of October. You can try it. You might find that you actually love weightlifting. How cool would that be? Like, not just CrossFit, but like the niche of weightlifting. Maybe that's your new passion and a hobby. Wouldn't that be super cool? And maybe you don't. Maybe you try it and you're like, not my thing. I promise you're not going to regret it. I know that you're going to be empowered to go out there, give it your best, and try. So that's enough from me. Next week, like I said, Megan will be back. We'll have another guest on. They will tell you something more interesting than about brain activity. But hopefully you found this somewhat engaging. Hopefully you've been thinking through what's something that I would like to try, something that I would like to do to challenge myself. Keep those brain neurons firing, guys. Light up your brain every day with something new. Have a fantastic week, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of My Blank Fitness Journey podcast. If this story inspired you, make sure that you like and subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you're using. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can check us out at triforcecrossfit.com. Just send us a message and we'd love to help you. See you guys soon on the next episode.